Do you live in a blended family? I certainly do. I have stepchildren, I have grandchildren, and it is hard. It's chaos constantly, trying to keep the peace with everybody. But how do you do that when everybody dislikes you because the children want to be with you? How do you handle it? Happy Monday. So I got my grandkids for the weekend, granddaughters for the weekend, and we had a heck of a snowstorm, like one of the worst snowstorms I've seen living where I am for the last 15 years. We got 40 centimeters or 16 inches of snow. So the bio mom could not come down to get the children. So I got them for an extra day. Better to be safe than sorry driving. So that's good news. We enjoyed it a lot. They really, really wanted to go skating tonight because they're learning figure skating, which is so amazing. I'm so happy that they're in an activity that they love. It feels like all of my grandchildren, and I put my niece's children in that grandchildren boat, just because their grandpa died. My brother died when they were very young, and some of them weren't even born. So it's my duty, with my brother not here, to make sure that they're taken care of, right? Their mother's a fabulous person. It's not that taken care of. I mean, as a grandparent. Anyways, so I had my granddaughters an extra day, and the roads are terrible down here, and they're all closed. And I'm looking outside right now, and it's just like a sheet of white. And so the bio mother was going to come down and pick them up sometime today. And then she phoned and said, there's bad weather. It's getting icy out. But I have a friend that's down in Moose Jaw who's coming to Melville. So just drop the kids off at the hotel and she'll drive them home, which I think is pretty smart, to be honest. Why should she come all the way down here when somebody's going 3 hours up there, right? Like, that's smart. The girls were a little hesitant, so I did email mom to say, just give them a call, just to reassure them that, this is a good idea. With me on board and mom on board, it makes them feel a little bit at ease, Morgan said, my granddaughter said. So that's good. That's good. When you live in a blended family like we do, it is very, very important to be on the same page for the kids. It's about the kids, right? Mom and dad didn't work out doesn't mean there should be animosity. I stepped in when both mom and dad were drug users, but I'm the bad guy, right? That's just the way it is, because I fought for them. And I will still fight for them until they're old enough to speak for themselves. Kids get older. They're not babies forever. They will remember what happened. They will be able to speak on their own one day. I'll give you an example. We were sitting on the couch, and my older granddaughter says to me, "Hey, Mom, Mom talked to my stepdaughter's mother, because they work in the same place. And she told me that she's a really, really good person, and that you're just trying to turn my stepdaughter away from me, away from her mother." And I said, that sounds like some adult talk. Why would Mom say that? Well, because she wanted me to know that you're going to turn me against her one day. And I was like, what? So I got my stepdaughter upstairs, and I said, because my granddaughter was quite upset about this. So I said to my stepdaughter, "You tell her what happened." So My stepdaughter did. And my granddaughter's really struggling because a lot of people are telling her that mom and mom's family is not very truthful. Like people at school, you have to remember that they've lived in that community for a very long time, like a long time. And Morgan gets very upset about it because a lot of people, like parents, tell her like it's not a good family, and well, your mom lies and grandma lies and blah blah blah. So I always try to reassure her, like, if you think it's a lie, then ask the questions. Mima will never lie to you, so you can always ask me the questions and I'll tell you the truth. And if it gets into stuff that isn't adult, like if it gets into something that she's too young for, what I say to her is, when you get older, you can ask me that question again. But right now you're a little too young to know the answer. Usually she pries a little bit and then she gives it up because that will be my answer. They're a little too young, right? It's not fair for their little brains. I went through a lot of childhood trauma when I was a kid, a lot of childhood trauma. So I want to lessen it as much as possible for them, because like, I just remember what the police officer said to me, which was, they're destined for a life of what mom and dad are like, right? So it's kind of scary. And I want to try to lessen that childhood trauma as much as I possibly can. But both girls are very strong-willed, and they both have a plan that they're not telling anybody about. She told me about it, but she doesn't want me to share, which I will not share with her, with anybody, right? It's not my world. I just feel really blessed that I got an extra day with them. And like I told everybody, not my grandkids, but I told like my niece and that the bio mom will use this against me. I will have to give up a day in the future. I'm just betting on it because that's what she does. She doesn't do what's best for the children. She does what's best for her. And they are trying their darndest. Their darndest to turn those girls against me. But I raised them. I don't think it will ever happen. Anyways, like and follow. I have TikTok, Jam Wooly on TikTok. I have YouTube, Instagram. Just like and follow.